Ethos. What's happening? Or do we just put this on Omega layer and then go really, 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 really slow with the mod? Seems like the thing to do. We're going to be in deep space today. Deep space. Deep hurting. Wait, why is it blue here? And it's like pink here. What? Huh? 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 Yeah, there was a little bit of clipping there for a second in the input to the Ikari. When you turn up the internal reverb on the R-bar, it adds quite a bit of signal level, depending on what you're doing. You can still kind of hear just a little... But that's input distortion and tape saturation coming from the R-bar's input, I think, so. And that I'm fine with. Probably don't need resonance, though. Maybe that'll probably help. Yeah, I can turn it down. It's very quiet down on my mixer here, so. Oh, what else we got? Well, we got a tape loop, and I haven't filled it with anything yet. Yeah, you got to gain stage your stuff even in modular, unfortunately. Well, Wizard, we're going deep space, ultra calm. I'm going to be leaning into this even more as a general thing, because to be frank, I think I like ambient sessions the most. My trancey techno kinds of things start to all sound the same to me. It's like I'm going through the same motions every time. I'm not really breaking anything new. And yeah, that to me is kind of no bueno. So we are in key of B flat Lydian today. And this is just our background goo. So let's think about things like sound effects, like, oh man, maybe even like nature sounds. That might actually be kind of cool on a tape loop, is some sped down, like, foresty bird noises or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Or hey, come on, just play the thing. Do the thing. So if you go to like the sounds of galaxies, and it's like that radio telescope noise that's been like encoded into actual, sound. Okay, yeah, no, that's just weird. I forget the name. Anybody remember the name of that? It was a Russian-made synthesizer, talking like 50s or 60s here, that used pictures. It was basically like a matrix, and it would scan across, and like higher was higher sound. So if you wanted it to be like, you just draw like a line. But then if you like put in an actual thing, can you shut up with your ads? Can you? I hate. God, my God. See, this might be cool too. Just like some, you're on a spaceship, white noise. That might be okay. Of course, are going to need to modify this somehow. That's it. That's the one. The ANS. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I have an app, an app on my iPad version of that, and it's actually really fun to play with. And it's got all kinds of funky drawing tools and stuff, and you can put shapes in and swipey things and shading and all sorts of wild stuff, and then like you just turn it into sound, and it's just like chaotic madness always. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay, so we should have this. All right, but I kind of want to go like really. Okay, first of all, we want to high pass this because there's that rumble in there that I'm not hugely a fan of. But we do have the ability to filter almost all of it, which is not a bad idea. I'm going to be making heavy use of my very, very slow sloths today, I think, for, well, reasons. So this guy go here. That should give us a nice plus or minus 5 around that point. So the trick for me is you find the point where, like, it starts to cut off. Kind of narrow down the knob, and then pop it in, you know? Kind of like simulate the range that it's going to give you when it actually does the thing. Okay, so there's a part. Here's a part. Here's a part. I'm thinking. Let's do some like happy little voice parts. Maybe even like random. Like, okay, so if you take a part that's like 16 notes long and then put a gate on like 4 of those, and I'm going to make 2 of those a B flat, and then the rest are going to be D and E, and then random. Let's put it on like 8th note. Actually, we can actually put it on a completely separate speed thing. Okay, this one's weird. What is this one? The PCT. That's the percentage of the beat. So if we want, no, see, I just want this generic speed. Be like there. Hey, Jojo. Okay, well, it would be helpful to actually patch a voice. You know, maybe. I want to use the new boy because the new boy is a lot of fun. He's working for me. This is a really really cool little oscillator. I gotta say. Um, what I might do is just use the wavetable on this guy. Maybe. Let's go in here. And then actually, let's go into sea legs. Put this channel on mono. Mono! Hey, Benjamin. Get in the thing. Okay, and then slow envelope, like a swell, you know, like a kind of thing, you know, maybe kind of something like that, you know, maybe something a little bit more interesting. Can we reverse that? Yeah, sure. So we'd be like, hey, Jim. That thing with the thing, and then we go like this thing with the thing over to here. Now, as far as the wavetable, this looks like a bank of noise. No. That looks neat. Okay. But then, of course, we do need to... I'm like staring at it. Where's my flashlight? I can't see it because it's right in front of me. That's suitably weird, but I'm kind of thinking, like, let's go even slower. And it's going to be pretty much just, like, divorced from the clock. It's not really running clocked. I think I want this to be even longer, so we can hear that little at the end. Hey, Tracy. Okay, of course now it's just going to be like, I'm not going to play. Because, yeah, you set me really, really slow. So I'm just going to be like, nah, I don't feel like playing right now. Respect that. All right, good job, buddy. Okay, more stuff. Oh, hi, there you are. But for now, let's mute that. And let's get a bass going of some sort. And this is going to be... We're just going to keep it really, really simple for this thing here. We'll go like B-flat. Let's do the same sort of thing. I'm going to do random. So mostly B-flats. But... Let's put... Alright, and then, yeah, we'll go with, like, G on occasion, and then a C, and then a D, and an F, and then gate those guys. Yeah, okay. But then what we can also do is... go with like chance probability and basically just like skip a lot of these. So rather than like changing the sequence itself completely, like you can just have it set so that it's gonna skip almost all of these. So what we can do is have it just skip the step, so it just flips to the next one. Yeah. That should be okay. I think it'll work. I have to try it out, of course. But it seems like a good application, once again, for the black and blue Oscar Tria. Because it's like a really, really, really good bass oscillator. Put it on Swarm, and then, like, give it a sub. It's just, it's delicious. Delicious. Well, the rare instances where I'm actually going to put a little bit of reverb on the bass. Mixolydian? Yeah. I mean, Mixolydian is like, you have a flat 7. So, you don't have that, like, hard movement from, like, the 7th note to the root. You know. You just don't. Like, are you even, like, playing, bro? Now, the question I always have is, do I modulate the bass, like give it an envelope, do that kind of thing, or do we just throw a really slow sloths into it and just let her go? I'm kind of thinking like that second thing. Yeah, you know what though? I'm gonna run it through an attenuator first. I don't want to go too crazy with the cheese whiz on the bass, you know, because there's the potential of doom and destruction. So we'll put it about halfway. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I needed to put this in here. There we go. We don't need this. Why are you even there?
What are you doing? What do you think you...
Sorry, just raging in my cable. See, it's a bit high. Right? It just needs to be more mellow. So that it occasionally just disappears is sort of the point of that. I have idea. I think it's a good idea. I hope. We shall soon find out. Yes, we will. Ensemble oscillator. Okay, playing major chords. And as far as major chords in Lydian, we've got a B flat, we've got a C, an F, and yeah, I think that's it. So we can actually use a part to control that. Be like, here, let's just use like part 4, and then I'm gonna make it really slow. Well, pretty slow. Half note, maybe. Yeah. All right, and then similar. Random, 8 steps. Okay, so then I'm gonna basically put B flat, C, and F on here, and that's it. We'll give those 3 gates. But it's going to be random, so it won't hit them very often. And then... Well, I guess first thing we should do is probably patch up the actual output so we can get it tuned to a chord. This one we're definitely going to need an envelope, because what I want is like a high swell. It's like strings. I think we can get it to sound like that. I think that'd be kind of cool. Perfect. Just a little bit. Does it sound like it's in tune? I think so. That doesn't sound good. The answer is no. Got it. Sounds like a pipe organ with the reed pipes open. It's crazy. Alright, so now if we go like so, then we should be able to be like so. right, number one, we go really slow sloths into the spread control. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to attenuate that. Well, we can use one of these attenuators right here, because that's convenient in the end. So spread control basically kind of highlights like the higher or lower parts of this, kind of. So like, here, let me pop the filter open. You can hear it a little better. Like so. Okay, and then, I think just like... Catch the drift? Is that what you're getting at there? Is that what you're doing? Did you catch the drift? The oscillator drift? Well, no, the thing is, this thing is a pain in the ass to tune, right? And, like, there's no fine tune on it. And, yeah. But once you get it there, it's digital. So, you know, it stays. It's fine. How many times have I replaced that thing in my rack? I think this is the 4th time that the ensemble oscillator has been back in here. Keeps getting kicked out. And then I'm like, let's just bring it back. Or do we put this into... this. So basically just like every once in a while, it just goes like schwap and it opens up. Subtle, and that's okay. Subtle is fine. All right, let's quiet that, and then keep adding a couple more parts here. I think there's got to be some kind of little space-agey little, like a fairy wings kind of thing, you know? You know what I mean. How we make that? Yeah, well, it's also the right size. So, like, it just so happened that these two fit perfectly where the Deckard's voice used to go. And, you know, it's a good trade-off. I'm debating to sell the Deckard's voice or not. Or should I just keep it just because it's kind of cool? It's an expensive collectible at that point. Not a fan. Yeah, it does. It has the potential to make some really good sounds. It's, I think, what is it, 16 sine waves? It's not strictly polyphonic, but it is unusual, and you can do some cool, like, you can put your own scales in it. Oh, one thing I completely forgot is the detune. So you can detune. Sounds a little crunchy too, a little bit distorted, and I'm here for it. I'm down with that shit. Let's make a little tinkly boy. Just some kind of little, let's see. How do we make this? Number one thing we need is a little pulse. Okay. So that... basically what I want to do is have an oscillator that just falls, right? It goes like... you know, that kind of thing, right? But then what you want to do is to give it a pulse like on a VCA so that it kind of is like it opens and closes really, really quickly. That's kind of like easier said than done, although I've got a whole shit pile of clock dividers that I could use for this. But my base clock right now is at 58 beats per minute, okay? So what we can do is probably use this Fractio Solum right here, this guy, and use like the double speed output here. So that's actually going to be going 232 beats per minute, or clicks per minute. That might be too fast. We can dial it in. We'll figure it out. Ain't no big thing. This is the clock going to the gamut repetitor. Honestly, we're probably not going to use the gamut repetitor, so let's just pull this, and then we can use that. Okay, so step one. With VST, it would be I think it would be sort of easy, maybe, because everything is just right there on screen. Like, that's one thing I think that VSTs are super good for is like sound design, you know? Because you can easily just like all your controls are right there. Okay, so now we've got a little envelope patched up. All right, so what I want to do is make a very, very quick, tiny little envelope. Let's put it in number 1. Shits and giggles. Okay. And we'll go just straight into the mixer with this. Okay, so right now it should be giving me just like a little pop. But you can't hear anything because there's nothing going into it. So let's fix that. Just use this guy here. Sine wave? Triangle wave. Triangle wave. Triangle wave. Do you exist? Yeah, see, that needs to go faster. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay, but then we're talking like that kind of thing. Okay, but what I want to do is just trigger it every once in a while. So whenever that happens, whenever it triggers, we want a rise and fall envelope to go to 2 places. It's going to have to go to a VCA and the pitch envelope. Oh yeah, actually, there's the easy way to do this here. We'll just use one of these tiny little bitty, look at these little bitty cables, right? And we can just cross patch it and go from channel 1 output to channel 2 input. And then it's a simple matter of taking an envelope, just a long attack decay envelope, maybe. Going into here. Yeah. Okay, let's turn that up a bit. Don't want any of that. So basically what I want is just like an instantaneous, like just a kind of thing. But what's going to trigger that? That's the question. We could use the Turing machine. Use the Turing machine. I've got the pulses out, and we can use like a rare gate output for that and put it on random so that it's sort of constantly cycling. For now, I'm going to put it on the most common gate output so that I can tune things up a little bit, you know. So then this guy can go to the do we do volt per octave or I guess it doesn't matter. Volt per octave or FM. Pretty much comes down to the same thing. Okay. Okay, first of all, way longer. Oh, yeah, there it was. Okay, I don't like the pop. Closer. Closer. Yeah, Vincent. Like, there's a few ways. It all depends on what you put in it. That's the thing that makes this stuff so damn great. Is it's like it's all custom, right? Every single one is custom. Okay, so now we're gonna put it in that rarest. Except I keep hearing pops and weird clicks and stupid sounds, and it's annoying. So what do we need to do? We need to filter this. Okay, let's use a high-pass filter on this. Oh, there's the high-pass. Ouch. Cool, bro. Cool. So yeah, like I could use my tape looper, you know, record a sample, like do that. That'd be one way. It just totally depends on what you put into it, you know? Or do we go weird and stick this into it? See, it just keeps retriggering and retriggering and retriggering and retriggering, and what the hell, man? Oh, because this is not that common. Or rare, I mean. Okay. What do I not like about that? There's something kind of weird about that. Just longer envelope, maybe? At the very least, I think he's going to have to get his own, or actually better yet, let's put that through the sea legs, because then we've got reverb and delay, you know, automatically, and a decent amount of it too. That's not going to trigger very often. So I'm going to have to play with like the clock speed. I don't want to just never hear it. Hey, you spent 10 minutes making that sound and it never played. Wonderful. Okay. How about some pads? I'm going to leave that going just so we can hear it again on occasion. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Pads, as in polyphony. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's do that. So basically what I want to do is just put a bunch of steps on major chords here. Ah. Oh, how many? I don't know offhand. If you go to my title description under this, my modular grid links are there, and that's this case, and then the skiff that you can't really see too well on camera, which is like my mixer and some sequencers and things like that. He's just kind of lurking down here. My melodicers and yeah. Oh, hi, Jason. See, I don't like that. And then it's going so high. That's why it's doing that. Like, it really needs, like, a low-pass filter again, like, also. There's a simple way to do that. It's going to take some dialing in, though, so let's go input into here, and then output into here. Turn down resonance. I want to roll off a little bit of the low end, so let me put this back into the common one so we can hear it more often. And then we should be able to just roll off some of that low frequency, that like pop. Do it. You're doing it. Doing it. Doing it? What are you doing? Oh, it's going too fast, so the envelope is triggering, so the oscillator is super duper high all the time. Let's hit it again. I think that's better. Yeah, so I don't hear any of the funky popping and weirdness. So that is satisfactory. Oh, did you hear it though? This needs to go up so that we get rid of that pop, which is occurring at the start of the envelope. This down, this up. Okay. I tried to do it one color per voice. What's the problem here is that you can't even see what color they are because I'm not dealing with white light. So like everything in the green ones are all the same voice. So like by color coding and stuff, but I only have like 6 colors. So kind of impossible. It's like, you have 18 voices in your track. How come you don't have unique colors? Because they don't exist. Yeah, so let's see here. Let me do, oh, I know what I want to do. I want to just do some classic, let's do some classic pads kind of things here. Let's turn this off. And let's bring all of this stuff down an octave at least. And then we're going to go doink, 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 doink. Damn it, Bobby. There. Okay. Now I can kind of add... Yeah, let's make this an F chord. So we're going to go up 7. You know what? I'm going to do the same for all of these. So we're going to go up 7. So it's going to go root note, 5th. Then we're going to go up an octave. And then we're going to go up 4 more half steps from there. Now this guy... Yeah, okay. So if we go, and then... let's use red. I haven't used red yet. Who with the thing stuff? This guy. Yoink. Right. Tickle, 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 tickle. Happy sound. See, so when I'm like, hey, you know, like fairy wings, fairy dust, that kind of thing. See, you know what I mean now. That's the sound of fairies and dragonfly wings or something. I don't know. Doesn't sound like this one is doing what it's supposed to do. Alright, number 1, this needs to be way, way slower. Half notes? Let's try it. See, I don't hear it. What the heck? Oh, because it needs to be actually 6. There it is. Okay. Down an octave for everything. Way slower. 2 whole notes. we take this gate part here, this output for that there gate, and we'll throw it into something that it can't reach. So yes, let's do that. Let's do this guy, channel 3. And we'll do kind of a slow swell on filter. That. Like that. That is not much reverb, might I say. Let's find a better one here. Or, here, actually, you know what? I'm going to switch this back to my FX8. Because I know the FX8 has some nice, glorious, long reverbs like that. Okay, and then let's go and put some probability of this particular step just, like, not playing. We'll make it pretty high. In fact, I'm going to skip the step completely at about 90% of the time. Okay. And then the other thing, I think, is to just throw a sloths. Let's throw, again, another really slow sloths into the drive, which is going to give us basically a VCA. So it's just not going to play. All right, I think it's time to throw everything together and see what happens here. I'm going to fire up the video synth. And we're going to put the lights on trippy. Do it. Photosensitive viewer warning. Look away. It is horrible. Now, come with me on a journey. Star exploration ship, Moogly. Come with us on our journey as we explore distant lands and galaxies. Okay, that is a trippy graphic right there, and I don't like it. I actually looked for an Ethernet cable at home. I'm going to have to buy one. I don't have an Ethernet cable at home, which is, I got to say, it's a little shocking. I'm just going to permanently run another Ethernet over to my router right here and just get myself like a, I don't know, what do I need, 15 feet or something like that, probably. Just yoink, 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 yoink. So, yeah. Considering the large quantity of tech trash that I had laying around, it's a bit surprising that I don't happen to have one. Which one is this? This is Ensemble Slater. Okay. It's the church organ. Stuck on a C major. Number one, I order you to take a number two. Some sloppy sloths on that pad too. Hey, I probably have those cables on hand. That guy at school. Hey, do you have this old USB Mini B? I do. new iPad Pros USB-C, or are they still Lightning? Because Lightning connector can go blow a dead bear. It's okay, but down with proprietary. And their little cables were like,
Yeah, we put a little resistor in here. Now we can charge you $40 for a charging cable.
girlfriend makes a really good chicken chili. It's like a white chicken chili. And it's really good. Yeah. I'm foreseeing a day in the distant future where I'll probably have to upgrade my iPad Pro. 'Cause it's, I don't know how old it is. I think it's a second gen, so. I'm gonna mute my microphone now. Just kidding. I'm not sure, Jason. No, it's not out. Latest version is August 2024. That's exactly what I had in mind today. Because I just hate it all. Thank you for riding on the starship Moogly. I'm going to take off for now. Always the possibility of a midweek stream. One of these days, I need to just do a free-running ambient thing, unattended thing. Just let it go, and yeah, this would be a good candidate for that, to be honest. Everything in here is sloths, just so like there's a lot of slow movement and stuff. I'm not even sure if I heard the demon core part. I don't know. Oh well. Anyways, thanks for coming. Hope to see you soon. If not midweek, then Friday for sure.